Hi boys, today I'm here with a beautiful story for you, and the name of the story is The Ashes That Made Trees Blue. This is the story of a very hard-working and honest couple and their pet dog. They also have greedy neighbors who are very troublesome. The story proves that good people might suffer in the beginning, but ultimately it is they who win. So let's go further and know more about the story. This is a story about an honest and hardworking old couple and their pet dog. The neighbors are troublesome and the dog dies a sad death. The spirit of the dog gives solace and support to his master in unexpected ways. Yes, see, this very honest and hardworking old couple, they had a pet dog and they loved that dog very much. But the neighbors are so jealous because they cannot tolerate how he was flourishing, how the old couple was flourishing. And very treacherously, they kill the dog in a very brutal manner. But the dog's spirit gives them solace, gives them happiness, gives them support. And this support is in very unexpected manner, and then ultimately this old couple gets the reward for their honesty and hard work, and that wicked man suffers, the wicked neighbor. Now let's read the story gradually. In the good old days of the daimyos, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little dog. Having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby. The old dame made it a cushion of blue crepe, and at mealtime Muko, for that was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits of fish from their own chopsticks and all the boiled rice it wanted. Thus treated, the dumb creature loved its protectors like a being with a soul. Now, let's first of all let's look at the bold words. These words which are in dark, because they are new words. So let's see. Daimyos. So what is the meaning of daimyos? In 19th century Japan, wealthy landowners were called daimyos. So this was a title given to wealthy landowners, landlords. So just like landlords. Second word is snug. Snug is very comfortable, warm. And then a being with a soul. A being with a soul means like a human child, like a human being. Okay. Now let's come to the paragraph. In the good old days of the daimyos, there lived an old couple. So in olden days of when there were landlords, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little dog. So they had a pet, and the name, what was the name of the pet? It is given here. The name of the pet was where is it? Muko. Yes, Muko was the name of the pet. So they had a pet dog whose name was Muko, and having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby. These people, husband, wife, they loved their dog very much. They had no children of their own, so they loved the dog as their own baby. The old dame, the lady, made it a cushion of blue crepe. Crepe is a kind of cloth. She made a cushion of blue crepe, and at meal time, Muko, for that was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. So the lady of the house, she used to make a cushion of blue crepe, and Muko would sit at this cushion very comfortably at the time of meal, and he would be as comfortable as any cat. Cat is also one pet, very popular in Japan. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits of fish from their own chopsticks and all the boiled rice it wanted. So this kind couple fed the pet, that is Muko, with pieces of fish from their own chopsticks. So from their own plate they used to give pieces of fish and boiled rice to the dog. And since the dog got what the owners ate, so it was very happy. Thus treated means treated so well. The dumb creature loved its protectors like a being with a soul. Treated so well. The dumb creature. Why he is called dumb creature? Because the dog cannot speak like human beings, cannot express its love. So the dog loved its protectors. Protectors, those who, like the owners, they protected him, loved him, fed him. So he loved it loved its protectors like a being with a soul, means like a human being. A human being, being with a soul is a human being. So the dog loved them very much, just like human being. They also treated him like their son, and the dog also loved them like their son. So I hope it's clear. Now we go ahead. The old man, being a rice farmer, went daily with hoe and spade into the fields, working hard from morning until Otenta Sama, as the sun is called, had gone behind the hills. Every day the dog followed him to work, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. For the old fellow was patient and kind to everything that had life, and often turned up a sword on purpose to give food to the birds. Okay. What are the difficult words? Turned on. So what is turned on? Dug up. On purpose, that is intentionally. Now let's go ahead. The old man, being a rice farmer, that old man was a farmer, and he used to grow rice. He was a rice farmer. Went daily with hoe and spade into the fields with his tools. Hoe or spade are tools. So the old man with his tools went to his fields early morning, working hard from morning until Tento Sama, that is till evening, when the sun had gone behind the hills. So the old farmer started working in his fields from morning and went working till evening. Every day the dog followed him to work, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. You must have heard the saying that the early bird gets the worms. So early morning the heron used to follow the old man to pick up the worms from the field. Okay. So the dog never hurt the heron, never hurt the bird. The heron which used to follow the old man to the field, because the heron wanted to pick up the worms. And worms come up when when there is plowing is done in the fields. For the old fellow was patient and kind to everything that had life. See, the old man was very, very patient. Patient means who can tolerate things. So he was very patient and tolerant and kind to everything that had life. Means the old man was very, very kind to everything living, and often turned up a sword on purpose. He very often he dug up a sword. Sword is, the upper layer of the earth. So he used to turn up the upper layer of the earth on purpose, means knowingly, intentionally, so that the birds could get the food. Their food was worms. So by turning the sword, he would open up the inner layer of the earth so that the worms would come up and these birds could pick up the worms. So in order to help them in picking the birds, the old man would turn up the sword. One day the dog came running to him, putting his paws against his legs and motioning with his head to some spot behind. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and did not mind it. But the dog kept on whining and running to and fro for some minutes. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where the animal began a lively scratching. Thinking it was possibly a buried bone or bit of fish, the old man struck his hoe into the earth, when lo, a pile of gold gleamed before him. So, what happened one day? One day the dog came running to his master, putting his paws against his legs. He put his paws against the legs of the master and motioning with his head to some spot. Motioning, moving his head towards some spot, as if calling him or giving him some hint. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing. So initially the old man thought that pet was just playing with him and did not mind it, did not, pay much attention to it. But the dog kept on whining and running to and fro for some minutes. The dog kept on making some sound and he kept running to and fro to some place, and it continued for some minutes. Then the old man gave attention. He thought that dog was trying to say something. The dog was trying to communicate something. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where the animal began a lively scratching. Then the old man followed the dog, went with the dog a few yards away to a place where the moment the dog reached there, it reached there, it started scratching the ground. And scratching the ground means it was giving some hint to the old man to dig the ground. Thinking it was possibly a buried bone or bit of fish. See, the old man thought that there was something buried in the ground. The old man struck his hoe in the earth. He struck his hoe. He started digging with his hoe. When lo, to his surprise, a pile of gold gleamed before him. There was a pile of gold that was shining before him. So, the old man was surprised. Gleamed means shone, glittered. So, a pile of gold was glittering. Thus, in an hour, the old couple were made rich. The good souls bought a piece of land, made a feast for their friends, and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors. As for the dog, they petted him till they nearly smothered him with kindness. So, Within an hour, the old couple were made rich because they had got lot of gold. The good souls bought a piece of land. They purchased piece of land, made a feast for their friends. They treated their friends and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors. They helped their poor neighbors. As for the dog, they petted him till they nearly smoothed him with kindness. They went on showing their love, went on expressing their love by petting the dog continuously. So, let's go ahead. Now, in the same village, there lived a wicked old man and his wife, not a bit sensitive and kind, who had always kicked and scolded all dogs whenever any passed their house. Hearing of their neighbor's good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden and set before him bits of fish and other dainties, hoping he would find treasure for them. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair, would neither eat nor move. So, coaxed. Coaxed means persuaded or enticed, attracted. Next is dainties. Dainties are the tasty food or delicacies. Now in the same village where the old couple lived, there lived a wicked old man and his wife. And this wicked old man and his wife were neighbors of this kind couple. Not a bit sensitive and kind. This wicked old couple was very, very insensitive and unkind. They had no sensitivity and no kindness, and who always kicked and scolded all the dogs whenever any passed their house. And this old couple was very, very cruel to all the dogs, and whenever any dog passed them, they would kick that dog. Hearing of their neighbor's good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden. So the moment they heard about their neighbor's good luck, that their dog had found them gold, they persuaded that dog into their garden. They somehow attracted that dog into their garden and set before him bits of fish. So they put before him bits of pieces of fish and other dainties, other delicacies or some tasty items to eat, hoping he would find treasure for them. They thought that by eating all these things, he would find some treasure for them also. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair, would neither eat nor move. The dog was afraid because dog probably had the experience. So the dog would not move nor eat anything. Then they dragged him out of doors, taking a spade and hoe with them. They dragged him, pulled him out of doors, taking a spade and hoe with them, taking their tools with them. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden than he began to paw and scratch the ground, as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. So as soon as the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden, he began to paw and scratch the ground. The same kind of movement which he did, the action which he did earlier with his own master, as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. It looked as if there was some treasure underneath, under the earth. Inside the earth, there was some treasure buried. That was the kind of impression that was made. "Quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe," cried the greedy old fool as he danced with joy. The old man said to his wife that hand me over spade and hoe, because he thought, and he started dancing with joy very happily. He thought he had found the treasure. Then the covetous old fellow, with a spade and the old crone, with a hoe began to dig, but there was nothing but a dead kitten, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and beat him to death, and the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. Then they flung him into the hole and heaped the earth over his carcass. Now let's look at the new words. Covetous. The meaning of covetous is greedy. He wanted something very badly. He was greedy. Next word is crone. Crone is the old woman, that man's wife. And then flung. And flung means threw. And last is carcass. Carcass means dead body. Now let's look at the paragraph. Then the covetous old fellow, with a spade and the old crone, with a hoe began to dig. This greedy old man, with the spade in his hand and his old wife, he began to dig. He began to dig the ground. But there was nothing but a dead kitten. So what did he find? He found a dead kitten. And this dead kitten was buried there, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. A very foul smell was coming from this dead kitten, and immediately the smell was so unbearable, they dropped their tools, that hoe and spade, and they shut their noses. Furious at the dog, they got very angry. The old man kicked and beat him to death. The old man kicked the dog and beat him to death. And the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. The woman was also cruel. She used the hoe which she had in her hand, and she nearly chopped off his head, cut off his head. And then they threw him into the hole which they had dug, and heaped the earth over his carcass. They put the earth over his dead body. So they buried the dog then and there. The owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet, and mourning for him as if he had been his own child, went at night under the pine tree. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground, such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave, and burned several costly sticks of incense. He mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names, as if he were alive. Now the owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet. When the old man, the owner of the dog, came to know about the death of his dog, he mourning, crying for him, he had been as if he had been his own child. He cried so much as one cries for his own child, went at night under the pine tree where the dog was buried. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground. He fixed some bamboo tubes in the ground, such as are used before tombs. See, before the tombs, in front of the tomb, some bamboo sticks are put. In the same fashion, he did the same, in which he put fresh flowers, so that fresh smell will reach the dog. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave, and burned several costly sticks of incense. Then he put some food and water for the dog, and also some very good incense sticks. He mourned a great while over his pet. he cried for a long time for the death of his pet, calling him many dear names, as if he were alive, calling him many dear names like my son, my dear baby, like that. So he cried for a long time at the tomb of the dog. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce." So the same, now let's look at the difficult word, mortar, that is ball. It's a deep ball which is used for making powder of certain things. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce." So the spirit of the dog came to his master and said that cut down that pine tree and from it make a ball of rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce. So the old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long. With great labor, partly by fire, partly by the chisel, he scraped out a hollow place as big as a small ball. He then made a long-handled hammer of wood, such as is used for pounding rice. When New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put it into the mortar. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough, and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. Suddenly the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins. When the old woman took the hand mill and finding it with beans began to grind, the gold dropped like rain. Now, pounding. Pounding means crushing or grinding. Okay. So the old man chopped down the tree. The old man cut down the pine tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk. See, he took out a section about 2 feet long. He took out a piece of the trunk that was about 2 feet long, and with great labor, great hard work, partly by fire, partly by burning and partly by chiseling, scraping out. He scraped out a hollow place, means as big as a small ball. He made some hollow place inside that trunk. He then made a long handled hammer of wood. With the handle he made a hammer of wood which could be used for grinding rice, such as is used for pounding rice, for grinding rice. When New Year's time drew near, when it was New Year's time, which it was coming close, he wished to make some rice pastry. He wanted to make rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, he first boiled the rice. Granny put it into the mortar. His wife put it into the mortar. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough. The old man used his hammer to make dough of that boiled rice. And the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. So he went on doing the same till this pastry was ready, and this pastry could be used for baking. Suddenly the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins. The whole mass of that rice pastry turned into a heap of gold coins. Lot of gold coins got into the ball. When the old man took the hand mill and filling it with beans, began to grind, the gold dropped like rain. See, the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with beans. With the hand mill, she started filling the hand mill with beans, and she began to grind the beans. Instead of beans powder, bean sauce, it was what? Gold coins dropped like rain. And you can imagine the old couple became very rich overnight. So it was who was helping them? How did they become rich? It was the spirit of the dog which helped them a lot, and that is how they became very rich. I think it is a long lesson. I will continue with the story in my next class. Till then, revise this, read this, and we will read the rest of it in the next class. Bye.